Yeah.
But we'll go out and play some Frisbee. King, you want to go play some Frisbee? Let's go do it. Let's go. Oh, wait. Let's do this officially. Let's do it officially. Boom. So King and I are going to go do some flat work. Let's go, handsome. Come on, Superman. King. Right, this here versus this. And you can see him shift. Come on. Right? You can see him shift each time. And that shift is, it might be the thing that is necessary for you to get your dog to flip. Yes, good man. Ouse. Ouse. Yes. Nobody cares how awesome you are, Epi. I'm not awesome, I'm epic. Nobody cares. Oh, you got hosed. You got hosed. There are only 2. Good. Didn't make it out. Hey. Cupcake, I can't reach it. Yeah. Whoa, look at it. No. You, go. Nobody cares, Cupcake. Nobody cares. Do it. Frisbee's about the stuff between the tricks, right? You have 36 tricks in a freestyle routine, maybe, if you're lucky. It's a lot of tricks, right? So 36, 32, 36, right? That's pretty packed freestyle routine. Each trick takes anywhere from half a second to 1.5 seconds, right? The actual trick, yeah? So what are you doing for the other minute 30, minute 45, right? All the stuff happens between the tricks. Go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Come on, Epi. Up. Good work. Ouse. I don't care what you do. Don't do anything, Cupcake. Yes. Good. Ouse. Through. Yes, ouse. Wait for it. Badass. Go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go. Ouse. Dude. Yes. Excuse me. Up. Ouse. Come on. Yes, good. Ouse. Good penmanship, Epi. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. Hey, looks like I got my timer almost right? It's about time. It is about time. Welcome to the show. I'm Ron. This is the DiscDog Dojo. Turn down the music a little bit. Excuse me, Epi. Go, dude. No, chill. Bad dog. So what's going on, everybody? What is happening? I need to be able to see the Kingling. We'll do that. There we go. So Byron, you don't have much to say about this weekend, huh? Funny. Alicia kicked ass. So if you didn't kick ass, then Alicia did it for you. Sage Paw, good to see you. So yeah, Slacker Training Sunday, we're doing nothing. Hey Kim, what's going on? Good to see you. How did your day go? Didn't you have a contest today? Or yesterday? Feel free to report in. If anyone wants to call in, we can give that a shot. We can try and take call. That might be kind of cool. And Byron, I gotta get you a wrench. I'm gonna try and do this. Oh geez, I got friggin'. I don't need the network cameras turned on. So I'm gonna try and get you a wrench. Byron. Uh-oh, what the hell is that? Weird. Switch count. There we go. All right, let's see. How do I do this? Put my sound levels over here. All right, post your question, Kim. Antonis. Yeah, I'm still here. Okay. Just lost my audio for a second. Hey. Check 2. Not sure I like that much. All right. I think we're all set. Getting Byron a wrench. I'm trying. Your videos. Fine. Stop that stream right away. Oh, Byron, you got a wrench. You got a wrench. We're good to go. All right. All right. So what's going on, guys? What is going on? Antonis, how are you? It's pretty late there. Didn't see you in class. Kim, and we had a big weekend from class. Yeah. Well, work around it. Work around it, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it here in a sec. So Kim obviously had a problem with a give this weekend, and I don't know what happened with Byron, but it didn't sound too good. Everyone in class, not everyone, but a bunch of people in class were doing contests this weekend. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Would have been better if Byron and Kim kicked ass, but right on. Where was your vacation, Antonis? So Kim, your question. You want to, well, first of all, you got to give me more information than that, right? But I do know, yeah, happens to the best of us, Byron. I do know that playing contests can put you on the spot when it comes to that skill, and if that skill is weak, you know, you're going to have trouble at the contest. If you handle that poorly, you're going to make your training harder, right? We've kind of talked about that a little bit. So if you can give me some more details about it, I can try and address it. But my first thing is to slip it and create game around it, and then do your work after you've got the game set up and the dog is missing game when they tug, right? But you'll have to give me a little more info on that. I did play Where is the Trigger with the give with Epi. That was pretty awesome. So he came up and he was all like excited to give, and I didn't give my hand. I said give, and there was no hand there. And then I presented the trigger, and he put it in and dropped it pretty readily. It was pretty startling, actually. You could give that a try. You could give that a try. When the dog pulls it away from you, who cares, right? They have to let go when there's no load on the disc. When you're not tugging, they let go. And you want to establish that in your tug game, and then you want to reinforce that on your give. And that'll mean them tearing it out of your hands, but you're not even trying to grab it because you're just touching it with no load. And they tear it out of your hands and they look dumb because they played tug of war with something that wasn't warring with them, right? So there's that. Until you give me something a little more detailed in the chat, I can't really answer more than that. So Byron forgot how to throw a disc. It's what happens when you get old and cold. Was it cold at the contest? All right, I'm going to try and get my screen share together here. Oops, I don't want that one. That is what we're talking about, though. That's the one. Now I want to add my camera. Can I do that? Yeah, and I want no picture in picture. Nope, I have to do picture in picture. But I can make the picture in picture big. Yeah, that'll work. I can make this a little bigger now. All right, so this is what we're covering today. This is what we're going to hit on. Well, that is as far as it goes, so let me shrink it a little bit. Whoops. Getting ahead of ourselves. Getting ahead of ourselves. There you go. All right. That is what we're going to talk about. Okay, so when you do where is the trigger with give, try that. Say give, present no hand when he's standing there. And let him kind of stew for a moment, right? And then offer your hand for the trigger. And when he tears it out of your hand, let him. That's the hardest part about the contest, right? Oh, it's a contest, you know, and you get involved in that fight and you win. And then it gets exciting for him in the contest environment. And no give happens there. Another thing you could do would be to simply teach the drop at your feet, which isn't always easy with a single disc. But you can do that, cue drop and do nothing and wait for him to drop it. Oh, looks like I gotta pick this up a little bit, put it up a little higher. Shrink me a little bit, nobody needs to see that. So yeah. Work around it though, train around it until you're ready to handle it, until you're ready to train it. That's important. You don't want to be half-assing it all the time. I told you those stories about getting the dogs to look in on toss and fetch, right? Send the dog around, the dog looks in and everything's great. And then I do a distance contest or do a toss and fetch league and ruin all my training. Yeah, so just try where's the trigger. When you do that, give or mine, and then present. And when he takes it, let him take it. There's no fun in tug if the other person isn't participating. You know, and when you put your hand down, he's got to put it in there, right? And again, if you build the game around it, play around it, slip that problem, don't call that like anytime he brings it to you, right? Call it very infrequently, and the game will build up around it. And then when the game is built up around it and you're ready to address the issue, then set up the give situation. And do it knowing that he's going to tear it out of your hand, and who cares? And he'll tear it out of your hand a couple times with no one engaging in tug of war with him, and then he'll give it. Yes, bite. Yes, bite. Yes, roller. Right after that, and you can get with multiple gives. I'll do it with Epi. He needs some work on that. I'll show you later. I think we'll go through some of the aspects of the off switch, and then maybe I'll do Epi, and then we'll do some more aspects of the off switch. Mid-50s. Awesome, Byron. Byron's from Canada, eh? Right? No, not right, eh? He's old Canada. Old Canada. That's funny. He's way up in Alberta, so it's been pretty cold. You can relocate. You can relocate. Question is, what about a dog that drops the disc and you throw another and the dog won't go after the second one? Relocation is really awesome. So you get the drop, yes, and you take off running, right? And the dog comes with you. And then wait for eye contact or something, throw. If you relocate, the dog will more often than not, forget about the one that they left. If the dog brings it with them, just relocate again, right? And if that doesn't work, try it 2 or 3 times and then make the throw, right? And hopefully the dog will leave the disc in anticipation of the next throw on one of the subsequent reps. So relocation, super awesome. You can also double and triple down. I would recommend that. Remember, we've talked about that in class. You offer the first one and the dog looks at you and goes, yeah, I didn't see anything. You offer the second one, maybe the dog looks at the disc, or maybe the dog stays looking at you. You offer the third one, the dog looks at the disc. If the dog looks at the disc, you got him. Offer the fourth one. Dog maybe, and then stick with you. Offer the fifth one, and he'll go get it. So you can offer, or you can relocate. I would go up to 7 or 8 reps on the repeat of the offer, right? So the dog drops, yes, I'd throw the roller, you'd look at me, throw the roller, wait a moment, obviously. Throw the roller, he looks at the roller, I got him. I'm gonna keep pounding that roller, he'll go. If that doesn't work, or if you want, you can do the relocation thing. He drops, yes, sprint away, waving the disc. It's fucking crazy. God damn it. Yes, I think we did make it. Woo! The 10-minute thing it really helps me not swear in the first 15 minutes. It's pretty good. So, cool, Kim. Saskatchewan. Sorry, Brian. Sorry. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more about the nicknames of the provinces. I could have made a joke. All right, so topic of the day, how to install an off switch. It is actually a topic today. I actually do have 10 things. So I put these together. They're not any kind of, hi. You were released, I guess. I'll let you go. It's a pretty good move, yeah. Pretty good move. I do have 10 items. They're not like, they're just kind of an off-the-cuff list. They are super important. Everyone from class will recognize probably all of them. So off switch, super important for dogs that are trained with operant conditioning, right? Dogs that are operant know that their behavior affects their consequence. And so they're always throwing behaviors at us, and they're pretty fearless about throwing those behaviors at us. They know that it works, right? So getting them to stop, not easy. Another thing about an off switch, a lot of people, if you can't disengage with your dog, you do not have solid engagement, okay? If you can't turn the thing on, if you can't turn it off, you can't turn it on. And if you are unable to turn it on, you can't have solid engagement. It's a really important thing. Dismissal is what we use to set up multiple repetitions of engagement. So engagement is, well, it starts with dismissal, right? And that's an important part of engagement. An off switch is dismissal. It is non-engagement, right? Leave me alone, dog. I'm watching TV. Our dogs get it right? He is a good co-host. I'm watching TV. It's pretty easy for the dog to catch that net, right? That we're not doing anything right now. It's real hard to get that sense of while we're sitting here, nothing's happening. It's real hard to get that sense of while when when we're doing something, right? We have this thing, and I'm going to just chill here and wait for something to happen. Okay, so 10 aspects of the off switch. First one, while. Dog and handler need to know what that means, right? While is classical conditioning. While Epi is up here, he is eating cookies. While Cupcake is chewing on the bone, a cookie happens. Notice there's no marker here, right? There's no marker here. This is just while it's happening, right? That's classical conditioning. Super important. We usually think of classical conditioning as pairing, and this is kind of pairing. We are pairing a cookie, but we're pairing it with while you're here, okay? No marker on those cookies. If I just mark and say yes, and then I go down here, Epic thinks he did something. If I mark yes every time I go and get a cookie, he thinks he did something. Even if nothing happened, he'll be like, what the fuck did I do? Ooh, what was it? I twisted my head. It's where you get all those weird behaviors, superstitious behaviors. If he were to watch him when he looks up, if I were to reach in and grab in my cookie bag, I think I'm going to talk about this. Yeah, unintentional back chain. The one that I'm doing right now, unintentional consequence. So if he looks up and I happen to go into my treat bag, after he looks up, he'll look up again, boom, and I go into my treat bag, right? If I do that too many times unintentionally, he'll think that his looking at me is making that cookie happen. A lot of times this happens after shifting. So each of these, I'm setting up eye contact, unintentional consequence here, right? Even though I'm not marking, just by being consequent. You can put your hand in the cookie bag, dog does a thing, and then you pull it out, unintentional consequence. An unintentional back chain is a little more sneaky. So let's say, I don't know how to do this without setting the whole thing. I'll just tell you. Epic jumps on the pedestal. I tell him off. He gets off. Then we do the thing. He jumps on the pedestal. I tell him off. He jumps off. Then we do the thing. He jumps on the pedestal. I wait. He jumps off. Then we do the thing. There's a back chain built in there that's unintentional, okay? And that can happen while nothing is happening, right? And that can be the start of all of your work, and that can be trouble. John, you had this with Sophie with her distance on the Frisbee. I had this with the accidental cupcake situation. So unintentional back chains, important to keep in mind. Again, while happens without a marker, and it signifies duration. It is a classically conditioned response. Number one. Number two, no marker on cookies. I just hit on this. I'm going to talk about it more, I guess. Classical versus operant. Classical or operant, attention, yes, makes a cookie happen. The marker dictates that. Yes. Okay, he knows that yes, attention behavior made it happen. Okay? Classical, I reach in, I pay the dog. I avoid unintended consequence, and I avoid unintentional consequences. These are classical cookies. No marker. They influence physiology and emotion. They add value to a position or a place. Okay? The dog doesn't do anything for him. Therefore, there's no marker. Oops. Operant cookies. Yes. Makes the cookie happen. That's what tells the dog, that is correct. You made a cookie happen. Yes, you made a cookie happen. Super important that we keep those separate. right? All right. So, third aspect of the off switch that's important. We want to match the energy, right? So Epi's here, he's hanging out, I want him to chill, right? I reach slowly in here and I pull out the cookie and I pay him, right? If I reach in, grab the cookie and pay him, I'm essentially setting up action. If I throw the cookie, okay, Epi, off, go get it, buddy. If I throw the cookie, right? I'm reinforcing action. I don't want to do that. If I do throw the cookie, I'm going to like whip the cookie out there and be freaking done with it. You know what I mean? And I threw it. He's probably going to be looking for that for a while. Apparently not. So I want to match the energy of the cookie. Yeah, total cupcake party in the background. Cupcake and the king. They're buddies. So we want to match that energy, right? We want to match it vocally. If we're given a cookie like, yes, right? Epic, off, yes. Go do dog stuff, right? Did you hear that? I didn't say off, yes, go do dog stuff, right? He'll be hauling ass back. He'll probably knock over the chair when he jumps up, right? Yeah. Right? So we want to match the energy vocally. We want to match the energy like energetically. Don't do that. Go do dog stuff. Piss off. Nope. No, dude. No. Go do dog stuff. Nobody wants that. Take your rotten ass and go elsewhere. No. Go, go, go. So we want to match him energetically. You notice I kind of yelled at him. I sent him away, right? I sent him away softly, pretty low key, right? We also want to match it temporally in terms of how fast we move, how fast we deliver cookies. And this has to do not just with Epic, stop. Not just with, go, a pup. Not just with dismissal, but also with our engagement. We always want to match this energy vocally, energetically, and temporally. If we do that all the time, yes, good man, wow, awesome, through, yes, good man. If I want a heel, yes, off, yes, good man, right? If I want dismissal, yes, go do dog stuff, right? You can match that vocally, energetically, temporally. I believe that's number 4 of the thing. Repeated entry, right? Yeah, Epi is always coming in hot. We'll stop here. We'll stop here. I'll leave this for a while. Repeated entry, it's one of my favorite things for, it's one of my favorite things for engagement. And for an off switch. So anything from that stuff? You guys got anything? Anything ring a bell? Anything you need to do? Anything you want to hear about? Cupcake, up, up. Can you do it? Yeah, that's it. Ready? Up, up. Yes, good girl. Epic, go do dog stuff. Keep going. Dude. Dude. Nope. Nope. Chill. Dude. Yes. Cupcake. Up, up. Oh, gosh, you guys are being really silly. Come on. Up, up. Yeah. Are you jealous, Epi? He is jealous. It's okay, buddy. We'll get to you. Yes, good girl. You never worked from up here. Let's see how pushy you are. Yes. So there's an unintentional, yes, back chain there. You can see it. Yes, right? So she's pounding the cookie, backing off. Yes, giving me eye contact, right? Yes, she didn't that time. Yes, yes, yes. I can put that in the rear view by marking no cookie. I can put that in the rear view by doing another behavior. I prefer mark no cookie, right? She's never been in this position with me, so I'm not surprised that she's doing that. Yes. I could hold the cookie further away, right? In order to make that subside, yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. This is, yes, like proper attention or formal attention. Cupcake, up, up. You can do it, up, up. Yes, good girl. So formal attention, the scarecrow position, yes, right? One hand out, yes, that allows you to see the dog off looking both directions. Wow, that was savage, Cupcake. Here you go. Come here, Koopy. Right here, Cupcake. Nope, dude. I was coming to pay you. Yes, I was coming to pay you. You're a good man. Did you get it, Koopy? All right. Up, up. Ha. Up, up. Up, up. No, that's not it. I want you on that. Yes. Up, up. It's not a very easy one. Up, up. Yes. Good girl. So, in the scarecrow position, yes. Formal attention. Yes. Up, up. Come on, dude. Yes. Yes. Formal attention, right? Yes. I want to pay with both hands. Again, if I put it too close, I'll allow her to do, yes, that back chain. I don't want that unintentional back chain. So Kim, I'm going to avoid it, yes, and set up the game, right? So I'm going to avoid it, yes. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. And let's do a few more. Yes, good girl. Now I'm going to present here, yes, and pay from over here. Yes, and pay from over here. And what should happen is, yes, right? Now I've just set this up, yes. So she's not pounding that off beforehand. So that's formal attention. Up, up. Come on. Nope. Get off, dude. That's not it. Yes. So formal attention, ambient attention. Chill. We're hanging out here, right? Yes. It just happens. Yes. All right? We're hanging out. I'm talking to you guys. I happen to look over. Yes. And she's looking at me. That's ambient attention. That's a really important one for an off switch, guys. Really important one for an off switch. Yes. For you to capture that every once in a while. Also for the dog to get it and for it to miss. If I just do this and hide, they get creeped out. Right? I can look in and she gets it and nothing happens. Right? And a couple more of those and she won't be all pegged when it happens. Each time I look at her, you can see how pegged she is. She twitches her legs or twitches her tail and everything. That ambient attention is happening a lot. We want to be aware of that. So the other one that we have is situational attention. While she's on a pedestal, I give attention. When I get to a door, I give attention. When I'm on a pedestal, I give attention. I would like to do this. Yes, up, I give attention. Okay? That would be situational attention, off. So, pretty cool stuff, actually. Pretty cool stuff. That ambient attention, situational attention, super awesome, man. Like you should be bankrolling on that. You should capitalize on that, and you should work them distinctly. In a little bit, default behavior is coming up as one of these 10, right? And having a default behavior for the dog means I do this thing, and that's how I make things happen, right? That's the default behavior. And if I want to make something happen, I do this thing, right? And that default behavior, when the dog knows what it is and it doesn't work, they realize that they're not on now. They realize that go do dog stuff, dismissal, actually means dismissal, right? All right, what do we got? Anybody got anything that nothing's really happening? I'll keep rolling. Somebody should stop me. What you doing, hot stuff, huh? It's pretty good on the stool, right? She did that. I don't know, 6 months ago or so. Just offered it out of nowhere. I was like super proud of her. Oh, Cupcake, you're so amazing. Let's see if she'll do. Oops, I can't reach it. Dude, go. Go. Yes, I can't reach it, Cupcake. Yes, I can't reach it. Oh my gosh. Oops. Yes, wow. Super talented. So impressed. This guy over here, he needs some love. Good man, King. Got a new ball. Cupcake. Yes, good girl. Shiny purple new ball. How cool is that? Off. Yes, good girl. Good man, Epi. Chill, buddy. Chill. Good. Whoa, it's a crazy ball, isn't it? It is a crazy ball. We should play. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's very hard. But you are super talented, aren't you? So this ball, much less stable than that one over there. It's got a smaller ball on it. Off. Yes. Go do dog stuff. It's a good one. It's a good one. You can start with a give. Do a lot of gives. A lot of gives. If the dog gives and you hold your hand open and there's nothing in there, they'll put it in there. Right? They'll put it in there. Cupcake, here, let's see if she'll do these. Cupcake. Ready? Oops, I can't reach it. Oh my gosh, oops. Come on, I can't reach it. Yeah, oh, I dropped it. You gotta help me. Can't reach it. They're opening up on her. Yes, oh my gosh, that is so good. You are so awesome. So are you, King. Boom, don't move. Boom, good man. When I go and pay Epi, good job, Cupcake, I like that. When I go and pay Epi, you probably can't see it from here. I'm pushing back on the cookie. He's real forward. You see him sitting now, right? Now he's standing. When I go over there, you'll see him lean forward, right? And he might not now. So he's leaning forward. When I pay him, I'm going to push him back, right? I'm going to put the cookie where I want the cookie, and he's got to put his face there, right? And what will happen is, same thing with Cupcake, by the way, with that pokey thing. If I pay her like to her mouth, maybe 2 centimeters behind it, 1 inch behind her mouth, she'll be like, ew, and she'll back up. And that will set up the get off me dog kind of situation. So dog puts her face where the cookie happens. Cupcake's going to be a pro at Oops, I Can't Reach It. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? Yeah, I know. Yep. So that eye contact, that default eye contact, we just engaged in it and nothing happened, right? And that's cool. That's okay. The dogs need to know that their default behavior is recognized and that it's not working, right? The interesting thing is that Atreyu will drop the majority of other toys, even with a rousing game of tug. He will drop fast and then not grab again, but cue strike. But with a disc, he loses it. No, he doesn't lose it. The handler fucking loses it. The handler loses it, not the dog. The handler doesn't act right. The handler wants it too much. The handler's engaged in tug when it wasn't tugging. Time is ticking down, tick-tock. Got to do this in throw and go. It's the handler, right? We treat it differently. By the way, guilty of that. Totally guilty of that. Epi's bullshit with the give. It's because I want to play and I don't really care too much about it. He gives it after 3/4 of a second, 1.5 seconds. I've been fine with that. My fault, right? Of course, the disc is a higher value toy, but how we interact with the disc is most likely the culprit, right? Can't set up, oh, I'm not going to take it from you, and then take it from him. You know, if we're sharing it, and here's the dog, and the dog is pulling, and I'm like, up, nope, and then the dog pulls, and I pull it from him. Oh, it's fine. I'll get you next time, Ron. And then, you know, dog pulls it, and I go to pull it, and the dog's like, yeah, that's a huge cookie, man. Same thing if the disc is lying on the ground. I have a dog. The disc is lying on the ground. Dog is standing over it. I go down to grab it. If I pick it up super slow, the highest drive dog around is going to leave that toy alone because that shit's dead, right? And so that starts to work, and the handler does it, and then we're in a contest, and you reach down slow and snatch it up. Did you see the prey drive? Reach down slow, snatch it up. Now it's live. Now the game becomes I can get it before you. Couple times of that, of me like starting out slow and taking it from the dog, right? Now the dog is like, oh, that's a great game. I'm into that. Why don't you reach down for it slow and see if you can fool me and get it from me, right? Very similar situation with both of those. All right, log into YouTube. Tell her to log into YouTube. Got to be logged in. Oh, I think maybe I might have it set up so you have to tell her to subscribe. How dare you come to my chat not subscribed? I think maybe. If she is subscribed, sorry. Oh, look how perfect she is. Oh, you can't see her. You can't see her. Did you see her? She's so perfect. Put this up here. Till we need to move it. Shouldn't need to move it from there, actually. Yep. Pretty cool, pretty cool. YouTube.com/pvibe. I gotcha. Hang on, I'll drop it in here. I need to get all my buttons set up.
Don't think. Feel.
Right, Epi? Right. Get rid of that dumb ear. No dumb ears, Cupcake. Nobody likes dumb ears. April would be angry. She should not like dumb ears. Go to dog stuff. All right. So, what else? I guess I'll move on. I'm going to move on to repeated entry, right? Let's do round and set one camera. Boom. There we go. Cupcake. A pup. Yes, good girl, chill. Good work. Have a co-host maybe. We'll see how long she lasts. All right. So, repeated entry. We want to habituate the dog to the situation, right? So a lot of times it's hard to establish an off switch in a training situation, or your, like where you train normally can be hard. Where you train like at a facility can be hard. Like it can be hard in your living room, right? Oh, we're going to do the thing, right? It can be hard on your training field, you know. Dog is excited. It can be hard going into your training center, right? Contest environment as well. Anywhere that the dog is super high, right? Anywhere that the dog is super high, repeated entry will help habituate the dog to coming into the environment. And what you do is you walk in and you get stable and you sit there for a moment while the dog is stable, and then you leave. All the way back to the car or all the way back into the kitchen, wherever it is you came from, and then walk back in and get kind of set up to work, and then don't work. And then leave the situation, do nothing, right? 3 or 4 of those, and then the dog walks into the training situation where they're normally high, they walk in somewhat flat, right? If you do 2 more, reps 3, 4, and 5 were flat. Only 2 of 5 were hot. 3 of them were flat. It's 60% of them being flat, 60% of your entries with the dog chill. You do that a few times, you walk in, the dog is maybe high the first time, realizes, oh shit, this is going to go down again. Okay, who cares? Come in the second time, now 80% of them are flat. When the dog comes in, 80% of the time, it's flat and boring, nothing happens. Now all of a sudden, the dog is in a great classically conditioned state to have the ability to have an off switch, right? A lot of times your off switch is corrupted and taped in the on position because we're classically over threshold entering the environment. So we can habituate the dog to the environment, right? At a competition, in a training situation, also for reactivity, right? One of the biggest mistakes people make with reactivity is walking in once and then working the shit out of the reactivity after the dog has gone bonkers, right? And then leaving. And then every time I walk into the reactive dog situation, I have to go through the bonkers. What you do, you identify the trigger, you go and you get settled. The dog is, oh my God, that crazy thing, or oh my God, that crap, I'm gonna kill that thing, whatever the reactivity is, right? When the dog gets stable, leave and come back in, right? And the dog will often come back in stable, right? Probably not if you don't do repeated entry though, because there's the thing, I have to get excited. There's that unintentional back chain, right? Every time I encounter a stimulating thing, I'm hot, and then I'm calm after a bunch of cookies. So the dog walks in, freaks out, gets stable, calm, you leave. You walk in again, dog has a 50% tizzy, you get stable, you leave. You walk back in, dog is stable. You do a little work, you leave. You walk in, the dog is stable. You do a little work, you leave. You walk in, the dog is stable. You do a little work, you leave. Go do dog stuff, leave the thing alone, right? Now you've got 60% of your entries without him freaking out. That's never happened before. Now you come back tomorrow, maybe the first one goes bad. Get him stable, leave. Second one, he's clean. Third one, he's clean. Fourth one, he's clean. Fifth one, he's clean. Now all of a sudden you got 80%. Do it again. Same reactivity thing, new reactivity thing, whatever. Very quickly you'll get the idea that it isn't every time I see something crazy, I'm apeshit. Yeah, I've seen that before. I'm not apeshit. What's up? Right? Reactivity is a huge one for repeated entry. And again, this repeated entry, great for work, great for engagement, necessary for both, right? Necessary for reactivity, also plays a great role in establishing a properly classically conditioned state to have an off switch. Off switch isn't taped on or taped in the on position. Here we go to the default behavior. Having a default behavior is super important, right? Attention is a terrific default behavior. My dogs know that attention makes it happen, right? Cupcake down there giving me attention, I give her attention, it doesn't work. It's cool. She gives me attention, yes, it works, right? But she offers attention first. If that doesn't work, she goes and does something else. We'll see her go and hit the go do dog stuff. I dismiss her. I allow attention, it doesn't work. She's gonna leave, right? She's going to take off and she's going to go hit the spot. Another great default behavior, spot behavior. Go to mat. After she does the attention, she'll go to mat. Come on, prove me right, Cupcake. Don't wait. Don't wait. Not quite a default. Cupcake's got like, she's the accidental cupcake. There's lots of things she could do right now, right? When she does one of them, here, I'm going to get out of this. When she does one of them, I'm not going to mark it. I'm going to capture this while. One of the things I didn't show. So the dude on the ball back here has been here for a long time, right? This cookie is while. That thing has been on the spot, right? This cookie is while. King is over here. I don't know if you can see him. Right? I come and pay him with no marker. That's while. All right? This dispels the notion that the dog is making shit happen. Right? This simply says that while you're here, it's good. That's all it says. While I'm here, it's good. You'll notice that the accidental cupcake not happening so much. She's on there. I'm going to pay it. I don't want to mark it. She didn't do anything. She's already done the behavior. She's on it. At this point in time, if I mark when I pay her, she's going to think she did something. If she thinks she did something, she's going to do things. When she lies DOWN, I'm not gonna pay it, or I'm not gonna mark it. I'm not gonna do it right now. That would be an unintentional consequence. Instead, I'm gonna wait for this thing to be down for a while, and then I'll pay it. And now I'm communicating while. Super, super important for an off switch. If I mark it, she's done something. If she's done something, she'll do things. If she does things in order to get me to, that's not an off switch, right? There's nothing she's doing that is getting me to do that, right? This thing over here, there's nothing he is doing to get me to do that. It's simply happening. No marker. I want to communicate while, right? And that's super important for your spot, your pedestal, any chill behavior you have, right, that is leading to an off switch or that represents the off switch. You want no marker. You want to pay with a cookie that means while, a while cookie, a classical cookie. Another one that we have here is the spot behavior, right? We have pedestal. Pedestal is a raised spot. There's a reason that I work on the raised spot. It's very black and white. It's very clear. The one on the spot here could easily get on and off, right? And when she puts 1 or 2 feet off, off the spot, she's off it right now, but she's kind of on it, so, you know, it's good enough. This right here becomes a problem. Sometimes the spot is not clear enough. The pedestal, on the other hand, the pedestal behind is much more clear. Epi can't get off. Good job, Epi. Epi can't get off. See how she's halfway on and halfway off? It's too easy. She can run on and off. If I mark her getting back on, I've just unintentionally reinforced that back chain. By not marking, I'm capturing while. If I put my cookies down and wait, let them go, she lies down, still kind of a while thing, right? Another default behavior that's super important is the down, right? Again, I want while. I don't want, wow, that sucks. What is up with that shitty connection there? I don't want up and down, right? If I mark them lying down, they have to stand up first. If I capture them while they're down, the DOWN in that position is what worked. Right? Now I gotta move. Oh well, you guys don't need to see me. Close enough, I can look if I need to. So, default behaviors. I think that's number 8. That's number 7. Number 7, and it's super, super important. The dog needs a default behavior, and it's not an action behavior. Attention is a good one, but that one for disengagement or for the off switch, I'm not going to want that one. I'm going to want my dog to exhaust that and do one of these last 3. The spot, the pedestal, or the down, right? So I guess you kind of need 2 default behaviors. All right, so we'll do dismissal, and then we'll work a few dogs. And then we have the last 2. So dismissal is it means I'm off limits. Okay, that's my go do dog stuff cue. That go do dog stuff cue is, I'll wait for the while here. That go do dog stuff cue, it tells the dog that I'm off limits. It doesn't, well, I'll get to that in a second. It tells the dog that I'm off limits, and that they should expect that something might be happening. You should probably hang out. You should probably hang out. You don't need to do anything. Nothing's going to happen, but you should probably be here. Epi is giving me what I would consider soft work. It's a little harder than soft work, but I'll take it in this situation. Soft work is work that's not meant to manipulate you directly. Dog is walking around, dog looks at you. Oops, dog is walking around, dog looks at you. Oh, it didn't work, right? Looks at you again, didn't work. Contrast the dog, I dismiss a dog, go do dog stuff. Dog's cruising around, right? And looks at me like this. That's manipulative. That's hard work, right? Dog is walking around, trolling around, happens to look at you, ambient attention. That's soft work. Ambient attention, nothing at all. While the dog is doing something, now I got her, she's still there with the DOWN, that's good, right? Soft work, not hard work. And I want to offer the default behavior and let her know that that didn't work, right? It's okay. I'm off limits. If I'm off limits, if I'm talking on the phone, right? Hang on 1 second. I can turn over here, right? If I never look back at you, you leave or you feel awkward. But if I'm talking on the phone and blah, 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 and I look at you and I'm like, do-do-do, or I just look at you. You know what I mean? I've just confirmed that it's okay, that this awkward distance and time and whatnot is okay. I want to do the same with the dog. I want to offer it so that they realize that, that it's not crazy, right? Dismissal, I'm off limits, doesn't mean leave me alone, doesn't mean go away. It just means I'm off limits, you should disengage, work me softly. From that, we can shape engagement. I'll do that in a little bit. I got a nice stable thing here, I'm not gonna fuck it up. But I dismiss. Engagement starts with dismissal. You can't practice engagement if the dog is not dismissed. The dog must first be dismissed in order to engage. Does that make sense? You guys follow? Dog must be dismissed in order to engage. It's just fact, right? So I dismiss the dog. Cupcake, go to dog stuff. Right here, I'll toss a couple cookies, right? She'll be out there. I'll wait for something. So if I want engagement, when she looks at me, I'll capture, yes, oh my gosh. And now I'm going to work, right? Come on, hot stuff. Yeah, I know. You ready? Stall. Yes, good. And so now I've captured her, I've matched her energy. Her attention after dismissal made the engagement happen, right? Pump her full of cookies, off. Go to dog stuff, right? So I've dismissed her, I'm off limits. Now I get a chance to shape engagement again, right? I get a chance to shape this engagement, my choice, right? So dismissal is what we use in order to shape engagement. You get multiple reps. Back to that repeated entry and the default behavior thing. If I get multiple reps of engagement, right, that's awesome. Much better than getting 1 rep of engagement, running my whole training session, and then coming back again and having to wait around. Pre-mac the dog, right? You know, people who pre-mac the dog, they do it. I just have him get his sniffs out on the first rep, and then every time you come to go to work, they have to get their sniffs out, right? You can have them get their sniffs out. You can pre-mac 10, 15 times in a 10-minute session. And you can get 10 or 15 reps of engagement. You can establish that default behavior. You can establish soft work. You could establish hard work. You could work on your off switch in that time, right? There's a bunch of stuff that happens when we use dismissal to shape engagement. Super important. So we have kind of a legit dismissal. Epi's been on it kind of the whole time. What I would consider a legit dismissal would be, I'm dismissing you so that I'm not dismissing you with ulterior motives. I'm going to dismiss you, go do dog stuff, I'm going to plan the rest of my session, right? Go do dog stuff, I'm going to work on my throwing, right? Go do dog stuff, I'm going to cook dinner. The dog sticks around a little bit, kind of hopes you're going to drop something, walks out, lies down on their spot. I'm cooking dinner. I happen to notice they're there. While they're there, I toss some food over there while I'm cooking dinner, right? That legit dismissal just means I'm not doing it in order to manipulate the dog, and it's actually me being off limits. And then we have like a situational dismissal. Again, cooking would be a good one. I'm on my computer, I'm watching TV, right? Those situational dismissals, they're terrific for kind of capitalizing on everyday life. And the next thing we're hitting on, oh no, I think we have 3 more still, right? Yeah, Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on one more. So moving and thinking. Probably one of the more important things. You run into people all the time who have, they're working their dog, right? They're working their dog and, you know, they have a high drive dog and they're like, man, I take the dog for a run every day. I got to run 5 miles with him. It's usually some, you know, superstar athlete, runner type person. Or the person who's like, I walk my dog. I don't know what's wrong with him. I walk him 4 miles a day. I'm up from 3 miles and he just won't come. You're just working cardio. You don't want to just work cardio. You want to get that dog moving and thinking at the same time. So moving and thinking with at the same time, shaping with multiple criteria. Really, really good. I do the pre-shape multiple target targeting. It's been on the stream a few times. I've gotten my ass handed to me a couple times with it. Everybody who does it, their dogs are just crushed afterwards. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of thinking, right? And they're very important decisions. So shaping with multiple criteria, like I'm going to do object targeting with 5 targets, and I'm going to have the dog decide which one. I'm going to do pedestal work, but I'm going to do the where's the trigger game. I'm going to send the dog to one of 3 pedestals. And they have to wait and they have to perform. Short frisbee session or ball session, right? With some kind of tough criteria, right and left. A lot of waiting for your, in your sequence building or in your flip work. If you just flip, and drive the dog through it, they don't care. But if the dog has to do shaping and figure something else out, right? I have to figure out how to be in position, and then I have to flip, and then I have to figure out how to be in position, right? Without a bunch of assistance from the handler. That's super awesome. That can really go a long way towards socking a dog out, putting them in a good classically conditioned state so that they're likely to have an off switch later. You don't want to run your dog in toss and fetch for an hour. You're just doing cardio. They need it for an hour now. 5 minutes of flat work is a shit ton of work. 5 minutes of moving and thinking flat work is 2 minutes of moving and thinking flat work will knock out, sock them right out, make them go to sleep tonight. Any high drive dog, right? But the key is to get them to think while they're doing it. You can't like just do your rote form or just go out there and move them around in whatever fashion is happening. You got to make the dog think, got to make the dog execute. Moving and thinking when the decisions are real and live, it's a big, big fatigue factor for the dogs, right? By the way, fatigue doesn't help with the dog being good. It just makes them more tired. And if they're more tired, one of 2 things can happen. If you're not handling it well, they're going to turn into a cranky toddler. You don't want a cranky toddler, right? But if you shape your off switch elsewhere, some of these other 10 or 8 we've mentioned, that tiredness will work in your favor. Something like heel work, right? Just getting the dog to think, not like I'm making you do this. Some creative heel work. Canine musical freestyle. We're walking in heel. I'm going to tell you to twist, and you can't just do it when I tell you. Twist, wait for the trigger. Boom, yes. Squib, yes, pay and heel. Oh, scoot, boom, yes, now we're inside, awesome. Squib, now we're in heel, awesome. Go do dog stuff. That kind of work, moving and thinking, multiple criteria, super, super awesome. Tires them right out. Prepares the situation for an off switch, right? Up next, we're going to hit on functional rewards, which I kind of alluded to. but I didn't want to break it. Functional reward's probably the best one, actually, one of the most important ones. So you can see Cupcake cruising around. The energy level in here is super low, right? She's literally just walking around trying to find something to happen. She's walked over the mat a bunch of times. It hasn't worked for her, right? Ideally, sometime in this session, I look over and she's just lying on the mat. That's probably what's going to happen here. She'll walk around, she'll get tired, the mat is comfy, the mat works, right? And she'll just kind of pass out there. Right? King, go do dog stuff, right? I'll dismiss King. Hopefully he'll go lay down again. All right, are you guys catching what I'm throwing down here? Are you guys catching what I'm throwing down? Any of them that you do? You guys do any of them, or any of them that you think you probably should add? Night, Kim. Bye, Queen Wave. Right, so Cupcake stood on that and immediately looked at me. That's her manipulating me. I don't want to take that. I'm tired of her accidental cupcake bullshit, her running around, doing all the things. I don't want her to do all the things, right? I've set this situation up specifically so I can, as I walk by, she's going to pound the mat and she'll stay on the mat because she knows what it means for me to pay Epi. I'm super surprised. I'll pay you here, King. You're okay. All right, how about I try this, Ron? And that isn't it. She'll run over to the mat. And when she gets on it, she'll look at me as if it was supposed to work. She's going to troll around for something that somebody dropped. So she'll get on it, boom, and she'll look at me to see if it's going to work. And it won't work, and she'll run off and do something else, right? And so what I want to do is I want to wait until I get Weil on the mat. So she looks at me again. She's going to DOWN. When she does, I'm not going to mark it because I want Weil. If I mark her DOWN, she's going to think that she's got to be standing in order to make me do something. I don't want that. So for those of you guys who've been around the streams, Cupcake is looking mighty slow and lame, isn't she? Compared to doing all the things. She hasn't been on one pedestal, has she? Pretty freaking wild, man. That session the other day was just epic. Oh, did you hear it? So that would be an unintentional marker. If I say her name, by the way, she, right? She is Cupcake, and she knows that, right? So she just hit this. She lied down. Each of those unintentional markers, got to be careful with that. So now that I have Weil, now I'll go ahead and pay, right? And I want to separate the action from the payment. And I want to make sure I don't have any unintentional back chains. She isn't doing this before she goes over and hits the mat. I want to make sure I don't have any unintentional consequences. She happens to do something every time I pay, right? I don't want any unintentional markers of like, oh, look, she did it. Oh my gosh. And that kind of stuff, right? While she's there, I'm going to go pay, right? She's in this SIT, I don't even care, right? All I care about is that she's on the mat and she's not getting anything. If she decides, the only thing I'm going to mark here is if she starts to get off and then gets on, I may mark it because she made a decision, right? Got to be careful with that because of the unintentional back chain and the unintentional consequence. When I move afterward, I get something. You got to be careful, right? That other stuff I've talked about. Oh, the hip flop, see? And there's that unintentional marker, right? Your narration, you got to be careful with your self-narration, right? Talking to your friend, I'm doing this stuff. I got to be really careful about my self-narration or my narration to you guys, because I send a lot of unintentional markers, unintentional consequences to the dog. And I don't want to do that. I want to capture the while. Now I'm almost there with the DOWN. Still happening. I'll push Epi back with the cookie. He's much less pushy on that. I'll hit her again while. All right. Watch out. Oh, that's a good cupcake. Yeah. Yeah. Juke and break here. Juke and break. Oops, I can't reach it. You can break for that. I will take that. The dogs are dismissed. They don't have to be here. Epi, I think, kind of has to be up there. I think I put him up there. King doesn't have to be there. Cupcake doesn't have to be there. They'd have to bite a child or run in the street to get my attention right now. Right? I have complete freedom to do whatever I want. And they're choosing to stay up there. I'm reinforcing them with while. I'm just setting up this default behavior that is compatible with an off switch, and I'm reinforcing it while it's happening. And if you do that, they'll chill like this for hours. They'll chill like that. Epi will sit there for 4 or 5 hours, no problem. Right? King really stable right there. Not asking him to do it. Wants to be there. Cupcake, she's accidental cupcake. She's getting better though. Yeah, so that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't care if she gets up. Right? I don't care if she gets up. She'll start to stay down. So you've noticed that when I've gotten up, she's getting up, right? I can get here and pay her quickly, and I'm sorry, I keep walking in front of the camera. She's down while I pay, and she's getting up, right? So we've gone from every time I twitch, the reason that he's twitching is because you don't follow through. If I decide to give a classical cookie, I just give the classical cookie. I don't care about the behavior is not relevant, Byron. Behavior is not relevant, right? It started with the while, right? It started with the while. That's all that matters. That was the paired moment, right? And that's what's memorable. Once we're really good, so when I can reliably get to this thing here with her in the DOWN still, right? Then I can start the bullshit game of like, oh, I got up, you got up, I'm not coming. But that just sets up and down, up and down, up and down, right? You got to have the balls, right? Oh, I'm probably get in trouble for saying that. You got to have the conviction to pay. It's not a big deal, dude. You didn't mark anything. And as long as you didn't capture a moment, so watch, she'll look off somewhere, and when she looks back, I'll stand up, right? And if that happens too many times, that's the one I don't want to stand up on, right? If I do that too many times, Byron, she will do something to make it happen, right? If it's happenstance 1 in 100 times, that's cool, right? But initially, I don't care. I'm just pairing that. If she were to fully get off, I'd wait for her to get back on, and I'd just drop it on there, right? And I would do that, and the dog would stay on the mat. The dog would stay on the mat. You can get in trouble with that, but for the most part, very quickly they realize that being on the mat is what pays. And you can get that you can make, so if she gets off the mat as I'm going, right? Let's say she gets up while I'm going, right? And I'm not even going to let her. Let's say she were to get up and I paid, right? And she walks back on the mat and eats it, right? Or I'm walking over there and the dog jumps off the pedestal. And I get there and I wait for the dog to jump on the pedestal and pay the dog, right? The whole thing, it wasn't memorable. The on wasn't even memorable. The dog getting on didn't really get the cookie, or I pay on the pedestal, even better, right? So I start walking over, off. Cupcake gets off. I just pay here. And when she gets there, I pay, right? What was memorable? Not really anything. Being on the mat. Being on the mat made him get up, and I had to be on the mat to eat. The actions, neither of the actions were there. If I wait for her to jump back up, off, let's say she got off when I was walking over, and I wait for her to get back up, and then I pay, I have an unintentional consequence. And she's going to get off in order to get on. Off. But if I get over here, and I come to pay her, and she got off, I just pay here. And what was memorable? Right? Being on the mat while he stood up and eating the cookie on the mat. The action didn't make my cookie happen. My cookie made her action happen. There we go, having pleasure and affirmation work for us. Oops. Important point there, by the way, from class. That affirmation and pleasure work for us in that situation. So that right there, waiting for her to lie down, that's going to get me in trouble. But she's had a couple of them nice and stable and whatnot, I'm okay with that. If I do that every time, that's going to be trouble. All right, let's hit chat. Yeah, body language for sure, unintentional triggers and cues. Again, though, once I go to give a classical cookie, I don't care. You know what I mean? They just have to be, if I were to stand up and they were to jump right off, outside of the first 3 or 4 times we were doing it, I wouldn't pay them. I'd sit back down. But if I start walking over and they get excited, or in Byron's case with BJ, if he were setting up, like every time you got up he twitched, you got to go pay that dog a few times. Go pay him and just hold your cookie there and let him eat it when he gets on and leave, right? Once you dispel that a little bit, he should be there for a longer period of time. The body language definitely does play into it, Antonis. You know, again, you want to match that energy. When I go to pay that thing on the spot, right, I'm going to pay here. Did you see that? I didn't pay her up high. I started here and slipped under her, right? If I go here and pay here, she's going to stand up. And then I'll back off and then she'll lie down, right? It's super cute. I like it, but that's not working, right? And then I'll pay. And now her down made me do that. Now I'm in trouble. My off switch is going to suffer as a result, right? So I'm going to take this while, I'm going to go over, and I'm going to slip that down. I'm going to do my best to make sure she doesn't get up. I don't want her to stay there. I'm not trying to get her to stay there. I'm trying to make it worth her while to be there, right? I'm not challenging her to not get up. I want her to think this is the easiest fucking thing ever. I just lay here and get cookies, right? That's what I want. That's what's important. Once the dog has the desire before difficulty, duration, distance, or distraction. Once the dog has desire, they won't go anywhere. Happy and King not going anywhere. It's got to get pretty hot and heavy for them to get excited and want to do something. Absolutely. Light bulb. The lack of the marker makes the difference. The spot isn't particularly well defined. You can fix that. The lack of the marker is huge. When people mark yes and pay the dog and yes and pay the dog and yes and pay the dog and yes and pay the dog, you just told the dog they did 5 things. Duration, they start it, cupcake, off. Spot, she doesn't even know the cue, right? Yes, that's the action. Cookie, this is while. Off, yes, that's an action. While is no action. While is classical. Super important. I don't know how the hell people get any freaking duration on anything if they mark or if they're super consequent all the time. So when she DOWNs, that'll be the action. And she'll stand up as soon as I mark. She doesn't know this. Yes. Oh, wow, that was great. My value paid off, right? Now there's no behavior here, right? When she DOWNs, I'm not going to mark it. I'll just call her OFF from that DOWN position, trying not to ruin this, right? And what'll happen is good things will happen while I'm down, and off is going to pay. Spot, and I'm putting the cue on it right now. She's never had a cue to that. She's going to figure out the cue, and she's going to DOWN. I'll mark it. So now I'm taking away from my off switch, and I'm actually working this behavior, right? This is not going to help my off switch. As soon as that ass hits the ground, yes, good girl. I'm going to pay for the DOWN. I'm in trouble here. Come on. Yes. Right? It's okay. She's smart. She'll get it. And then the off is the other piece of action. Duration, while, is not an action, no marker. While those dogs are on the pedestal, there is no marker. She's going to DOWN and she's going to look at me like, see, I did it. She's going to try and do some stuff. Ooh, hip flop, he likes that. Now I'm just going to come over and pay. Now we got something. You see that, Byron? You see how in this situation, that's going to work. We're in a working situation, right? And also, she knows what makes it happen because I delivered all those concepts, all those little pieces of it. I marked her getting on it. I marked her ass hitting the ground. I got her off. Cupcake off, yes, and marked it, right? She knows what that means. So now I can start messing around with that on and off and the actual criteria. Cupcake, spot. She's still eating cookies over there, but that's okay. Spot, I'll send her, right? Got a little quick on my cookie or on my thing there, but she's going to go over there and hit it. Not a very good cue thing, but I didn't expect a cookie to be buried back there. I thought she'd jump on it. But again, I don't really care. She doesn't know it, right? It's the 4th time she's been given the cue. Spot, right? And she'll figure out what's going to make it happen. I can look at her. That's not going to do it. She'll stretch. And then she'll drop her ass. Yes, and there's the action. Wait, there's her DOWN. I can go and pay her again. This is repeated entry, by the way, essentially right here, me walking up, right? It's essentially repeated entry. There's 3 of them, me walking up with her DOWN. That's awesome. And now the remaining action, off. Yes, good girl, go do dog stuff. So there you go, Byron. I pay for while to establish desire, but I don't mark while. I only mark the action, her DOWN. I'm going to pay for the off switch here, but yes, good girl, that's what I mark. And then this stuff, I don't mark, right? And then off, yes, I mark. Duration is not a behavior. It's an absence of behavior. When I stand her, cupcake, stand, off, yes, right? While she's standing, there is no behavior. Off, yes, good, right? She stands, yes, off, yes, right? That time that she's up there is not a behavior. It's an absence of behavior. If the dog gets it as an absence of behavior, then the only thing they can do once they start is wait for off. That's that. Yeah, totally, right? She will know how to spell. She's fucking smart, man. She's whip smart. It's not fair. The good thing is that she's smart in the right way, right? We've been constituting, constructing, and then making meaning. We've been doing that thing I talked about last night, or Friday, Philosophy Friday. So, let's see. Let's go back and get to these last few here. Let's get to these last few pieces. Functional rewards. Most important thing for an off switch. So, functional rewards, access, right? Access to me, access to the outside, access to the ability to work, access to her crate, access to food, access to the restroom. I mean her restroom, not being a fan for me, right? Access, limited access, extract work. I go to the door, dog gives me eye contact, I give him a cookie. They give me another piece of eye contact. I touch the door handle. They get a cookie. They give me an eye contact. I give them a cookie. They give me eye contact. Yes, I crack open the door. Door's cracked. They give me eye contact. I pay. I open the door all the way. I do some eye contact. I send the dog across the door. Yes. They turn around. I pay. They give eye contact. Yes. I send them back across, in and in. They cross the threshold. Yes. They stop. They give me eye contact. Yes, I pay. We do a couple crosses of the threshold, then we go outside to the restroom, right? Extract work for access. That's 4 times a day. That's a lot of work. I got to go to the bathroom. Minimum 4 times a day, right? Minimum of 4 times a day. They're going to, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to get my shit together. Let me do this. That's 25 pieces of eye contact that have significant impact on my well-being and my physiology. That's hard work. It's meaningful work. And we always just take it for granted. We just bust them through it. Make them wait at the door. If I make you wait at the door, you're going to be less tired because you got excited when you got through the door. They have to manage their shit. They get themselves through the door. They get themselves out of the crate. They get themselves through the first door. They get themselves, hey guys, come on. Epi. I'm going to see if I can let these guys out. In and in. Go. Ep. Good work, handsome. Go suck. Go potty. So I want to extract that work. If I get outside the crate with eye contact, dog gets themselves access to the outside of the crate with eye contact. They get themselves access to the next room with eye contact. Eye contact to get the leash. Eye contact to put the leash on. Eye contact at the door. Eye contact to open the door. Eye contact to cross the threshold. Threshold, eye contact, threshold, eye contact. Then we go out to the restroom. I do that 4 times a day. Dog is going to be socked. Dog's going to be tired. Dog's going to be prepared. Dog knows that their behavior affects their consequence. If it doesn't work, they'll know it isn't working, right? If we drag them through that and do it all for them, they're going to be ready. They're going to be rip-roaring to go at 10 p.m. They won't have an off switch. They'll be hot shit. Access for interaction, right? Functional rewards. Give me eye contact, get interaction. Right? You put yourself in position to make me work with you. Now the dog is shaping you, trying to figure it out. The functional reward of next. Set up a situation, wait for the dog to do the thing. Dog does the thing, then you do next. Now the dog has to figure out what to do to make next happen. That's fatiguing. That is agency. The dog learns how to make the things happen. And there's a negative side of that. If I do the thing and it doesn't work, probably means I should go lie on my spot. Wait for something. And I've made a shit ton of value on the spot, so they want to be there. They lay there, they hang out. They know that's the place to be. They know that's what's going to get it for them. All right, erratic schedule. This one pretty important. 4:30 p.m. we're training. Dog is going bonkers at 4:20. 6 months from now, he's going bonkers at 3:15. 6 months from then, you put him in the kennel. Hour later, he's going bonkers all day. You get home at 4:30, bingo, it's on. Another thing I should have added with this, when you get home at 4:30, if you always get home at the same time, walk in, hi cupcake, go make a sandwich. You want that to be very, 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 very low key, right? If you're on a regular schedule, that regular schedule should be super low key, right? Ideally, our training sessions, we want to move them around. This 9 p.m. start all the time is fucking killing me. I changed when I fed them a couple weeks ago, right? And I normally don't feed before class, right? Because for obvious reasons. But this changing of schedule into feeding before class kind of clued me in that maybe I feed before class, maybe I feed after class, right? Maybe I feed before the live stream, maybe I feed after the live stream. Who knows? And now all of a sudden they're not so programmed to be like, oh shit, it's 9 o'clock, here we go. First time I fed them before class, we brought them out here and all the dogs were laying around chewing bones when I started the live stream. It was insane, right? It helped that I didn't get my lights turned on and everything with them in here chomping at the bit, but erratic schedule. On training, multiple dismissals while working, right? Multiple dismissals while working. Get some work done, dismiss the dog. Capture soft work. Dismiss the dog, wait for while. She gives eye contact. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, Cupcake. Come on, off. Good girl. You ready? Hoop. Through. Yes, good girl. Up, up. Yes, good girl. Whoa, whoa. Yes, awesome. Great work. Off. Good girl. Go do dog stuff. And now I can wait for that dismissal again, right? And I can get this high action dismiss. High action dismiss. She gets better and better at dismissing, and while she's laying there, something amazing might get called, right? So multiple dismissals allows me to practice that. And repeated entry fits here as well, right? So I would recommend repeating entry on the times you're not gonna play, right? It's Tuesday. We always play on Tuesday. It's, I don't know, or it's Tuesday. We never play on Tuesday. Take her to the park. Load up your disc, go to the park, right? Get your disc ready, get your leash, take her out to the field, go back to the car, do that 2 or 3 times, go home, right? Then all of that shit loading up to go to the park doesn't go there. I like to take a young dog, a dog that doesn't have this experience, load them up in the car and go to the mailbox, like the post office box, right? I got to ship something, I take them. I get them out, I walk around the gas pump, put them back in the kennel, go home. I go to the party store, I get them out, I do some cookies at the front of the gas station or the party store, right? Like a convenience shop. And then I put the dog away, right? That's all repeated entry that helps to make for an erratic schedule, that helps kind of blur the pattern a little bit for the dog. All right, and I think this is the last one. Your intention, okay? You gotta have the right intention. The energy is matched. You have to mean it and follow through with it. When I say go do dog stuff, I mean it. You know what I mean? She doesn't get me to do anything unless it's the right criteria or unless I want to, right? And I have to be careful with my wants and desires, because if I'm just dismissing so that John, where are you at, John? If I'm just dismissing to make her play with me, you're fucked. You're fucked. Doesn't matter how much you pretend that you're not desperate, you're still desperate. Don't be desperate. Mean it, follow through, go do dog stuff, mean it, right? So there you go, 10 things. 10 aspects of the off switch. Thank you. I should have done bye-bye. Thank you, bye-bye. But yep, that's what I got. That's what I got for the off switch. Got some work done. Nice stream. Don't know why that is so frickin' slow. That's weird. I mean, I'm on 5G here, right? I'm on 5G. This one should be on 5G. Wow, I'm so impressed. Oh, I was. Not anymore. Not impressed anymore, Cupcake. Yeah, I'm on 5G. I don't know why that would be slow. So weird. Hang on, I'll turn the quality down. Hey, go do dog stuff. I don't know what would be causing it to be slow. It shouldn't be. I don't know. Kind of weird. What do I got? Do I got anything? Weird. All right. So you guys got anything else? I think I might take off. I think I might do it. Covered it all. So 10 things to do for an off switch. Remember that you don't have engagement if you don't have an off switch. I mean, your dog will engage, but you don't have engagement, right? You'll have that really, I have engagement, and then you'll get out there and you'll be like, well, actually, I can't turn it off, right? You'll think you have engagement. That's really, I have engagement. And then you get out there and you realize you don't have an off switch. So actually, I don't have an off switch. Actually, I don't have engagement. All right, anybody got anything? I'm going to say something about patrons. Patreon.com/pvibe. Terrible at grip links. I'm going to get that all set up sometime soon. Become a patron, get access to class. Vice director gets Disquando. Bus buddy and above gets access to all classes. Bunch of cool classes. We meet 3 times a week. You don't have to make every one. You're welcome to make every one. And yeah, you get access to me as well. So wouldn't be happening without our patrons. Let me throw up last year's patrons. Patrons May, coming soon. We're going to get the new patrons up. Wouldn't be happening without these guys. This is my sole steady income. Everything else is gig-based. If you dig the show, dig the stream, this is where you want to be. Hook up with us there. Become a patron, get access to class. Help spread the positive vibe, all that shit. Woohoo! All right. So play us out with meme roll number 4. Again, badass meme roll number 4. See you guys soon. Monday Night Mechanics. See ya. Jeppo. He is a badass. Hey, see ya, Antonis. Take care, brother. Hope you're not too tired after your vacation. There you go. Get it done. Do your forms, Byron. Do your forms. Do them. See you guys.